Yeah.
Master Skywalker, there's too many of them. What are we going to do?
The behind the scenes of what happens. Yeah.
Rip
And
the
we're back.
children.
Thank you for joining us again on the Coruscant Knights podcast. We're happy to have you here. My name is Cooper, and alongside me, as always, is Mark
Hello there.
and Jack.
Welcome, everyone.
How are we doing today, guys?
This is the Hello There movie. You've got to say something.
You said hello there.
You got to say, be Grievous.
No.
All right. So today we've got a very, very exciting episode, one that we've been looking forward to since we started the rewatch series. We're going to be talking about episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, Jack
And
is so excited.
I think
Aren't
I
you,
think
Jack?
I think we're all excited.
Yeah, I think
Jack especially.
surprisingly everyone's really, really excited to do this one. So
I think this is
Surprisingly.
one of the films that there's a consensual, like not consensual, a consensus,
Consensus.
yeah,
yeah, I was
of
gonna say I
the
thought
agreement.
first probably wouldn't be, but then after his rewatch, maybe we might see things change.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining us again. We do have social media on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Patreon. If you want to go check out our Patreon, it's you can get there by the link in our Instagram bio, or you can just search it up on Patreon. It's at Coruscant Knights. For those who are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, we do release these on YouTube. So if you want to go put a face to the voice or hear or look at some of our reactions, please feel free to go check it out on YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube, please feel free to give the video a like, comment as well, and give us a subscribe as well. That would be highly appreciated.
And of course, thank you to our 2 Patreons.
Yes. Thank you to Ben and Nikita for their continued support. Okay. Revenge of the Sith, released in 2005. Do you guys just want to get straight into it?
Yeah. Get into
All
the
right.
Let's go.
Who does anyone want to start? Because I feel like you two probably have a lot to say.
True.
Nah,
But
nah, I don't want to start.
yeah, I feel like I want to almost hear everyone's opinions and then I want to
I don't have that much to say, really.
yeah. I want Cooper to go first, honestly.
Oh, all right.
I
Okay.
want
Yeah,
to see
Cooper,
on
we reckon Cooper has some interesting
yeah.
takes.
All right. I'll go first then. Do you want me to start with my positives or negatives?
Let's do negative.
Positives. Oh, okay. We'll
Oh,
go negatives this time. All
there's a
right,
tie.
interesting.
I don't know. I reckon maybe we should just get the bad out the way and finish on a
No,
good.
let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a lot of negatives actually, and most of my negatives are positive negatives, so it's kind of hard to. But I'll talk about them anyway. Okay. My main issue with this film was that it felt ridiculously quick.
Really?
Yeah. We jump around between different, and I know like watching the Clone Wars and especially the Siege of Mandalore gives this a lot more context, but as a film, it everything that happens so quick. We jump from the Coruscant battle, then to Utapau, and where else did we go? I can't remember.
Mustafa,
Yeah, well, Mustafar comes later, but
Kashyyyk.
even just on even the Kashyyyk stuff, it's all very quick, and I don't know, it's not distracting, but it's almost like you don't really get to linger too much.
Yeah. I have a counterpoint to that if you wouldn't mind.
Mhm.
Um, I actually kind of agree with you on that part. However, I know you said the Clone Wars and stuff fills in those gaps, but I think it just deliberately cuts from like a lot of talking dialogue after like those battle scenes with like Anakin and back to the Council, and rather just gets into the next kind of phase of that progression. Because
Mm.
in the end, it is about Anakin really, so we don't really get a lot of detail in depth, even like with the other characters as much. It's more just what are they doing at this pivotal moment that will change the course of Anakin's story, almost, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I get that. Um, I don't know. I just thought that, especially during the first hour, it was very, very rushed. But I do
I
understand.
found out actually while I was rewatching it last night, I actually realized that the scene where Mace Windu and the other Jedi go to arrest Chancellor Palpatine is exactly on the halfway point of the movie.
Hmm.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
I would have thought that would have come later.
So
Yeah,
would you
so
put
would
that at
I was checking the time when I checked what part of the movie I was up to when we got there, and it was exactly halfway.
Would the climax be that or after when Anakin comes in? I feel like that's the pivotal
Yeah,
moment.
Yeah.
that's probably the story climax of the story is when Anakin comes in, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely.
I will just say I think that this is the best paced of all three of the
Yeah.
prequels, but I just have a it's not a major issue. It's just it's something I noticed
Mhm.
with the pacing, but I think it's way better than Phantom Menace. Definitely better than Attack of the
Mm.
Clones.
Mm,
I also, and I don't know how you guys are gonna feel about this one.
mm,
I didn't really very much like Yoda in this movie. I thought he sounded very, and I know the toll of the Clone Wars and everything, but he sounded not very enthusiastic. He sounded very defeated and not inspiring, which is I guess you want from your Grandmaster.
I think Yoda in this movie was finally starting to realize what was happening.
I think he was more annoyed with himself and the council.
Yeah, for not seeing what was
Yeah.
coming. And then when he finally did, that's probably when what you mean, Cooper, about how he seemed defeated, because I think he knew that it was too late. Nothing could be done.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I think the only issue I had with the if you're talking about Yoda in particular was how ruthless he was on the clones when you got Ahsoka
Oh
out
yeah.
here trying to like not kill anyone. And then he's just going slicing them up. I'm like,
Yeah,
I love
interesting.
when I love when he throws the lightsaber into the clone's chest
And then
on
jumps in.
Coruscant.
yeah,
That's
that is a
fun.
pretty cool move.
You know,
Um, but even just a little bit more on Yoda, I thought that the way he kind of finishes the fight with Palpatine, and I know Palpatine's very much um powerful, but I thought that it was a bit anticlimactic in a sense. He kind of just gets thrown off, dropped, and then gives up. Like, I mean, he could have done more. I don't know what his thoughts were, or if he was feeling that Obi-Wan was going to be able to beat Anakin and that would change things, but he like gave up in a
honestly,
sense.
I can agree with you on that one. I think maybe
Mm.
primarily because he was on like the low ground, and maybe
Mm.
he thought that maybe he had like after he fell, maybe he felt like he couldn't get back up and kind of do anything more, and Palpatine would just obliterate him when he's coming back up. I don't know, but yeah,
It's over, Yoda. I have the high ground.
I also think, and I also think it could be maybe the fact that Yoda's much getting older, and I know he can still move around and do whatever, but even in his voice, you can hear he's just very much aging
mm,
and
And the
just
toll, I reckon the mental
whole of the
toll of
Clone
all the
Wars.
Jedi dying, like he can feel it and he
Yeah.
can sense it through the Force. And I reckon that plays a big part in his subpar performance.
I honestly still think Yoda was. I still personally think Yoda won and was actually stronger in that fight though against Emperor. Because let's be honest here, the Emperor was like doing everything he could. He used his Force Lightning, which only ended up working because it just pushed them both back, and he just happened to fall. He was throwing those Senate seats around, and Yoda still dodged it and sent one back to him. Lightsaber battle wise, it was pretty even, but I thought Yoda was. You looked, I don't know. I feel like if someone who hasn't watched the film and knows the ending of that, I feel like people would assume Yoda would win that fight just by
Mm.
looking at
Yeah.
Well, he is considered the best Jedi of the Jedi
He's been
order.
around
So.
for, geez, almost well, over 800 years at this point, hasn't he?
I
Mhm.
wouldn't say he's the best lightsaber duelist though. I reckon there's a lot better.
Well, I
Like
think
Mace
Anakin's better.
Windu.
Oh.
Mace Windu, I reckon, is the best.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'd agree with that. Mace Windu, I'd say, is a better fighter with a lightsaber.
He easily took out
Yoda
Palpatine.
is more of a Force user.
Yeah, Yoda's wisdom, force, and knowledge, I think, carries him in a fight more than lightsaber.
Like,
I think
I
he's
mean, all you have to do is watch the scene with Mace, the other Jedi, and Palpatine, and
yeah.
Mace is the only one that puts up any sort of fight. And he even nearly beats Palpatine,
I think
which
He
Palpatine
does.
deliberately did
yeah, if it wasn't
make
for
him think.
Anakin, then he would have won the fight.
Mm.
I reckon that's still Palpatine manipulation though, to make it look like, oh no, help me,
Well,
Anakin.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is the point of it.
Yeah,
But
that's
if
what I'm saying.
Anakin wasn't there, Mace
Oh,
would have ended him.
yeah, 100%. But also, I think in the book, this is just a side tangent. but in the book, it was actually specified that the fight between Mace and Emperor was moving so fast that like when Anakin came in, he couldn't see him. Like it was just like lightsabers.
You said that last week, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
you
sure.
said that last week.
Oh, did it? Yeah. Oh,
Last
cool.
fact.
But flashback, but now to actually relevancy. So, when that happened, and even in the scene where he took out all the other Jedi Masters and people beforehand, apparently it happened like in a flash. So you can't really do that in a film because it will look unrealistic and just weird.
Yes.
However, so that's why I reckon Mace is actually probably the best duelist in the council. I think that's why he's on it. I reckon he's probably the best when it comes to lightsaber
Mace puts a lot of force into his
strikes.
lightsaber strokes.
Hmm.
And when I say force, I mean like I don't mean the
You
force.
like power.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those were my only real negatives. I do have some positive negatives that are similar, so I'll just share them. So, and I don't know how you guys are going to feel about this one. This story almost feels like it's too much. There's a lot of things that happen in this movie, and it's great. All of it's great, but I don't know. It kind of takes away a little bit from following on certain journeys because we're jumping around between different things.
Honestly, I think I have to disagree with that point,
Yeah, no,
Cooper.
that's
I'm sorry
fine.
to
That's why
say.
I had it as a positive negative.
I
That's
can
why.
see I can kind of see where you're coming from, but really I don't think it's that much in reality. It's mainly just Anakin and his turn, and then there's finding Grievous is a subplot, and basically the Palpatine subplot is part of Anakin. So
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, no, that's a fair
that's
point.
just yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
I agree with Mark. Yep.
Yeah, okay. No. And my other one was just that the story, and this isn't a critique actually. The story feels very small and focused, I guess, because it is on Anakin. Whereas I guess the other two films have kind of been a bit more, um, how do I describe this? A bit more, there's been a higher overarching plot, I guess.
In this one,
Yeah, no, in Attack
no.
of the Clones and Phantom Menace.
I think it's because it's leading.
Uh you mean like less of a character focused plot,
Yeah, yeah,
and
Yep.
this one has more of a character focused
yeah,
plot.
and
Yeah.
I'm not disappointed by that
Okay.
at all.
I was gonna say, is that a bad thing? Yeah, I was
No,
like, I'm
no,
not
no, no,
sure.
no,
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's
no.
good. I
Yeah.
thought it was.
Mm.
Yeah, I think the plot was probably, in my opinion, oh, that's a positive. I'm not going into that. Oh wait,
Um, yeah, so I'm done. So do either of you want to go next?
Mark, you happy or you want me to go?
Um, Honestly, I can't think of many negatives. I'll try and think about it, and you go.
Okay, so aside from Cooper didn't say it, but in my opinion, the dialogue does not improve. I think it's just more overlooked because of how good the actual movie is. Like the high ground one, and I know it's memed upon, but it's actually not. That's not even the worst bit of the dialogue. I don't think that was. I think that was just a coincidence, and you know what I mean. And everyone just turned it into something. I don't think that was bad. I just think the dialogue between Padme and Anakin is just a bit. I don't. I still. It just doesn't feel.
I disagree with you where you said the dialogue hasn't improved. I'd say it has improved, but saying that, I can agree that in some respects, especially Anakin and Padme dialogue, that
Yeah.
it could have probably been a bit better. But I think overall dialogue was an improvement.
Okay. Yeah, it probably was better than the first two prequel ones, but in general, Star Wars is not known for its good screenwriting in terms of dialogue. So I don't know. It's just a little negative nitpick here.
Yep.
I disagree completely. Sorry, I thought the dialogue was actually pretty good in this movie, and there's a lot of very very powerful one-liners in
Oh,
this
one-liners
film.
is always good,
There's
but
some very emotional one-liners in this
I just
movie.
think I just think the original trilogy where they excelled in the most was dialogue, in my opinion. I thought it made sense in terms of how it was presented on screen. Like it wasn't. I mean, that's just another nitpick. But this is one that I think could be a bit controversial again.
Oh,
I actually I don't know if it is, but I'm really really annoyed that like I know she didn't need to be in it so much, but I'm really annoyed that Padme got so little screen time.
Yeah, same.
Being the main one of the main
I can
pivotal
get that.
reasons for Anakin's turn, basically, for her just to show up just to look sad or just so, oh, I'm pregnant, and then that's basically it. I'm just
Yeah.
like, how does she go from like the powerful female character in Attack of the Clones? I know the Clone Wars develops her more again, and she does a lot of stuff. But besides that, if you're just going on film, she just gets sidelined so hard in this film. It's
Yes.
a bit annoying.
Yeah, I can probably agree with that.
Even political side, you get one like, oh, so this is how democracy falls, kind of thing, in thunderous applause. Isn't that in this one, or is that the yeah,
No,
this
Yeah,
that's
is
this
that's
one.
his on.
yeah, that's the only political really thing you see from her, to
Yeah.
be honest. So I'm like, "Ugh, that's a bit,
Pretty
I don't
much, yeah.
know the politics, but
I guess as a Anakin focused film and like
but she's a part of Anakin.
I
She's
I
like,
know, I know, but I'm just saying. So we'll get into the screen time thing later, but Anakin has almost an hour screen time in
oh
this
yeah,
movie, and that's like 20 minutes well above anyone else. So
crazy.
it's a
That's
very
actually not
Anakin
even half
focused
the
movie
movie. I thought it would
summary.
be more.
Nah,
Um,
that's a lot though.
it is
A
a
I
lot of
know
lot.
it's
people
a
want to get.
lot, but
I just thought I agree. I think Padme was underused, and I think that they could have even found side plot for her, or maybe even tag along on a plot that was just
Yeah, I
maybe
thought
something to do with Palpatine. I don't know. Just
that's
get
what
her
I was
involved.
hoping. I was hoping for like at least Padme on her own subplot is like trying to uncover who is
Yeah,
like because she obviously was a bit concerned and stuff about how the Emperor, or well, at the time Chancellor, is like staying in power for too long and all this. Maybe even her doing research and then finding out something. But as she's going to find out, all the or Order 66 happens, and it's like almost too late. So like she could have been another reason for them to uncover it before the Jedi and give her something like powerful like that. It would have been,
I,
I think it would have been cool.
I
But
agree. I
nitpicky
agree.
still.
But the only thing I will say is that this movie is almost 2.5 hours long already, and adding 10 minutes worth of Padme subplot probably,
True.
first of all, it would have completely diminished the pace of the story.
Yeah,
But also it would have made it a lot longer.
true. But honestly, with this kind of film, I would happily watch a 4.5 hour movie of
No, I
Revenge.
would as well.
Like it's and just get like in detail and all the battles and stuff. Would have been so cool. Anyway,
Yeah.
here's
a
another
Lord of the Rings sort of
yeah.
Star Wars
Yeah, imagine that. Oh, part one, part two, Revenge of the Sith.
extended edition of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. Apparently there was a cut or something that they cut a lot of it out, but I
Yeah.
don't know if that's conspiracy or not. But anyway, another nitpick is I actually really hated the end of the Grievous Obi-Wan fight on Utapau. I
Really?
totally didn't. After watching it again, I was not happy with it. I know it's so uncivilized, but I just hate how he used the gun. I hate how he was.
Yeah.
It wasn't even overpowered. Like it wasn't even like Grievous had the. I mean, he did have the edge on him, but like, how did Obi-Wan just do so badly? I know he lost his lightsaber, but surely he could just like force pull his staff before, and then I don't know. It was just like it felt so jarring. I don't know. I didn't really like it.
I don't disagree with you. I think that it's probably the weakest of the Obi-Wan versus Grievous duels. Like
What
all
the
the Clone Wars ones are a lot better.
course.
But I really liked the way that it finished. I thought it was funny how he got shot.
Yeah,
Like
but
the
that's
fact
what I
that the
think.
fact
It's
that
a
he's
funny
like,
throwaway when I really like
no,
Grievous.
but I think it's just ironic, maybe the fact that maybe it's an allusion to Anakin almost, that he will become a man inside a machine, and he'll you know die, or not die, but he'll burn alive. So
Yeah,
Mm. That's a good take.
because
good take.
we do know that the villains of the series of the prequels do allude to Anakin, Darth Maul being the young and hasty apprentice, and then Count Dooku being the former Jedi, and then Grievous being the machine cyborg. Yeah,
But yeah, I just especially after his stuff in Clone Wars and stuff, I just think if you watch it sequentially with everything, he goes out like such a chump. It's like a bit annoying, but oh well, I mean you can't have every fight in this movie be unreal because
um,
they are unreal the fights.
to be fair, I think the Gungans almost kill him in the Clone Wars. So
Yeah, that just shows how powerful an army is against one. I didn't think that was that bad actually. You know what I
and
mean?
he took care of the Night Sisters pretty well.
I I think to be fair, in the entire Star Wars saga, apart from like the non-canon Clone Wars series, Grievous has not been portrayed as that powerful, even though in the comics and every other form of media, like takes out Jedi constantly. You know what I mean? Like he's the Jedi killer. So
Mm.
we don't really get to see that as much as I really wanted it to. But Like, how is someone so powerful at taking out Jedi without using the Force? I know, like, he's got a cyborg and stuff, but how crazy is that? Could be
Yeah.
an
He's
interesting
strong.
story. Mm.
I have a slight tangent I'd like to quickly go on if you don't
Okay, bro.
mind.
Yeah.
I've always wondered this when I watch Revenge of the Sith because I can't remember from the Clone Wars. Is there ever a time Anakin and Grievous interact in the show?
No.
Because they would have
They
been
deliberately did that.
constrained. They would have been constrained to make that not happen because of that line in the movie.
That's what Filoni was a bit annoyed about.
Yeah, where he's like, I what is it, young Skywalker? I expected someone to be of your,
A little bit
you know,
older.
yeah,
I,
to be a bit older,
I would have loved a Grievous
of your
versus Anakin
reputation. I
fight.
think that's what he says.
I reckon Anakin would have taken him out in two
Oh
seconds.
yeah.
Let's be real.
Oh yeah.
He would have no mercy on him. He would obliterate him. But
Yeah,
so maybe it's good that he couldn't meet in the Clone because he wouldn't. Because then I'd have to underpower him or overpower or have some weird plot for him to
yeah.
get away again. But um, aside from those negatives, I honestly don't have. Yeah, I could nitpick all day, but that's just irrelevant and not. You could do that with any
Yeah.
film. So in
Yeah.
my opinion, those are like the biggest gripes, and they're not even that big. So that's why I think it's one of my favorite Star Wars movies. So yeah, Mark, if you have anything.
I could only really think of one, and like you said, it's more of a nitpick,
Mm.
and I'm sure you can come up with reasons why this is the case, but I feel like Palpatine very quickly reveals who he is, like especially to Anakin, and I know it's all part of his great plan, and he knows about Padme, and that's how he uses it to essentially, you could say, blackmail Anakin. But I feel like after all of what we've seen with Palpatine in the first three movies, he kind of just very quickly goes into the Emperor sort of thing. Like he reveals himself as the Sith Lord, and then Anakin tells Mace and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, but I think he needed that to. I think he couldn't delay it any longer because he was
Yeah,
already.
I just wonder if, like, well, I guess they did. I guess I'm really just nitpicking. I was gonna
Well,
say they could have made it so you could see throughout the movies him slowly becoming the Emperor, but
Yeah,
he's always been the Emperor.
once you
He
rewatch
and
it.
there are those scenes where he's on the holograms and stuff. So I guess my point is moot.
well,
Mm,
also with timing, so it's like Count Dooku's being killed, and obviously he was a big instigator of that, but
he just
that was
has
like the opportunity. So, oh, if he could see Anakin kill Count Dooku, it's like, okay, this is the wheel's turning now. We gotta like wrap things up. We gotta finish this Clone Wars, and we gotta get Anakin prepared for the big
yeah.
suit.
Because if he didn't kill Dooku and Dooku went into prison, then Dooku would have revealed everything, meaning
Correct.
he the whole plan would have been fumbled, and then it would change the entire direction of how it went out.
Yeah.
That was a pivotal moment, honestly. Mm.
Um, oh, something else I was about to say, and now I can't remember.
Classic Mark.
Classic.
Yeah, I
So we'll
know.
talk later in the positives. Oh, yeah, I remember it.
Hang
Just
on.
just
Oh,
while Mark's thinking, and we are taking a bit of a
you watch. I'll remember.
Break.
I'll remember in the middle of you guys
yeah.
talking.
I was just gonna say, happy birthday, Mark.
Oh, thank
Mhm.
you.
The
Thank you
Coruscant
very
Knights
much.
team wishes you a very happy birthday and a very good day.
Thank you very much. Yes, it is good to spend it doing this podcast.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Positives.
All right,
Yep.
I'll start. And Mark, if you think of it, please interject because I'm interested to hear it.
Okay.
All right, okay. First of all, this film's fantastic. I'll mention that. I don't remember it. I didn't remember it being this good. Okay, first positive. The entire first half an hour, the opening scene is perfect. It is so good. I cannot believe how good it is. Even just following Anakin and Obi-Wan through the ships for the first 10 minutes, it was just
Hmm.
so good to see. Oh, I loved it. I also really liked Anakin and Obi-Wan's chemistry together. I thought that this was probably the first time out of all the films they felt like not equals, but they felt like family. Whereas in Attack of the Clones, they felt like it was very much master apprentice, but this one it feels more like they're equal. Um, the music's really good in this one,
And
like it has been.
and in that scene as well, by the way, with Anakin and Obi-Wan at the start, a lot of fun just watching them just slice through the droids like butter.
Yeah,
Oh, oh yeah.
That's so satisfying.
I agree. Yeah, so music, there's some really good tracks in this one. Anakin's Dark Deeds
Hmm.
is really good. March on the Imperial. I don't know what that one's actually called, but March on the Temple.
Yeah.
Jedi Temple March.
Yeah. Yeah, and then what's the one that plays when Anakin and Obi-Wan fight? It's not it's the other one besides Dark Deeds.
Battle of Heroes.
Battle of Heroes, yeah.
I listen
Iconic,
to I listen to the soundtrack regularly.
iconic,
Nice.
iconic. It's
It
so
is great
good.
music. As always, fantastic work to John Williams.
Yes.
Also, because Cooper's saying his music, I might as well just say that I agree with it. I don't have to say it later. And they also
Yes.
put the I'm Sorry soundtrack, but it's actually not an official, like he didn't officially release it, but it's the one that plays when Obi-Wan says to Padme, "Oh, he's the father, isn't he? I'm so
That
sorry." You
that's
know,
Anakin's Dark Deeds, isn't it?
no, it's not.
Oh,
It's actually
really?
not. Yeah, it's not. It's I'm sorry. It's you have to search it up later. It's a whole different thing. So
Oh,
yeah, it's actually crazy, and it's one of my favorites too.
that is
So
also one of my favorites. I didn't
Very
know that.
interesting.
oh, it's so good. The music in this film is so good.
Yes.
Like,
And I didn't realize until I rewatched 2 and 3 over the last 2 weeks that Duel of the Fates is in all three films. I
mhm,
Yeah.
only thought it was in the first one.
mhm. So yeah, it's like people underestimate a lot, but when I like if I have to have a movie that shows how good and music can elevate the plot, people's characters and stuff, it's got to be this one. Like this is a
Yeah.
prime
Mm.
example of how it makes everything so much more tense and just
Yes,
so good. So
I
it
good.
think
is.
I think Battle of Heroes might be my favorite just because of not the context it was in, but just the way it is so quick. The beats are very quick,
Mm.
and even just the like Duel of the Fates with the choir in the background kind of
Oh
thing.
yeah.
The choir really
Oh
good.
my
I
goodness
just realized there's actually three different Anakin's soundtracks in this one. It's Anakin's Betrayal, Anakin's Dark Deeds, and I'm Sorry. So it's actually crazy. But I'm Sorry is technically more of an Obi-Wan one because it's linked to his
I would
quote.
have thought it was a Padme one.
I don't know. Yeah, it's about I don't know. I think yeah, he didn't want to use Anakin's Dark Deeds. There was a thing behind it, and then people were like, oh, what's that bit of the film? You know, what's that soundtrack? And then he kind of like released it like not officially, but like kind of like I don't know. It was weird,
Okay.
but it's really cool. So cool. Mm.
Okay. My next positive is again we get fantastic world building. We get Utapau, and we actually spend a lot more time on Utapau than I remember. Same with Mustafar. We get Mustafar, which is like at the time was a completely different planet
So
that we
cool.
hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
We get heaps of time on Coruscant, which is cool, and even in space as well on the ships. I feel like I'm forgetting a planet. Oh, Kashyyyk. Yeah, sorry.
Kashyyyk, yeah, I was going to say
Yeah,
Kashyyyk.
Kashyyyk's really cool as well. So it's good world building, and these are planets that have become iconic in the Star
Speaking of
Wars
Kashyyyk,
universe.
what I like about this movie, especially compared to say the sequels, is that when they have a cameo, in this case Chewbacca, they don't make a big deal about it. Like they mention his name, I think twice in the film.
Yeah.
It's just something I wanted to mention. Like you, honestly, half the time, at least for me, you forget Chewbacca's in it.
I
Well, it doesn't have any importance on the plot.
was
Yeah,
gonna say
exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what's good
yeah,
about it.
aside from like obviously being a Wookiee, but like, did he like just? Is this? Oh, I forgot. Is this before or after? Oh, this is after, isn't it? Han Solo.
No, this is
No, this is
before Solo.
before.
No, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, Han Solo's after Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means how does I don't know, bro?
How does Chewie get captured?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know.
it's kind of weird.
Maybe the Empire captures him and sells him.
It's kind of weird how he gets into the that weird Imperial prison. But yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Solo in
Oh,
a
yes.
little bit. I'm excited to rewatch Solo. I haven't watched it in a while. Um,
Oh,
my last positive, I think the storytelling is fantastic in this. The way that they deliver, and this is a culmination of like the dialogue and the acting and the plot. I think it's all done very well. I think it's all very powerful and emotional, and obviously the dark turn towards Order 66 and Anakin's turn to the dark side. I think it's just done really well. So I highly praise the filmmakers for what they were able to do with this movie because I was very impressed.
Mm.
But that wraps up my positives. So who wants to go next?
My,
well, yeah, I was gonna say I'll probably go first because I have very brief and broad ones.
mm,
So they're basically just the most obvious: the story and plot and the action.
Oh yeah, I didn't
Like,
mention action. Sorry. Yeah, action
yeah,
was good.
the action, all the fight scene, pretty much all the fight scenes are superb. And I
Hmm.
think we can all agree that Anakin versus Obi-Wan is probably the greatest duel in Star Wars.
Yep. Yep.
Jack agrees, but Cooper doesn't look
Thinking
convinced.
about Kylo versus Rey in episode 9.
No, no, no. Hang on.
I'm thinking in my head, he better not be referring to a sequel duel.
No,
Yeah.
All right,
no.
good. Which one?
Okay.
Which one? I'm
Well,
actually interested to
I've
hear.
actually got this as a question later.
Tell me, tell me.
But I think in terms of like action and the length of the fight, yes, this is the best one. In terms of probably emotion, I would put Luke versus Vader and Empire above this one. That's
I
fair. That's
no,
fair.
I no, it's fair. It's
No,
fair, but
Jack's just giving me
no,
a
I
nasty
think
look.
I think that I can agree with you. There's a lot of emotion behind that one, but I feel more emotional, and I personally feel like the action is better in the Obi-Wan and Anakin duel.
Lightsaber duel definitively. Like the actual fight is the best choreograph
Yeah.
Yes,
in all of Star Wars.
Yes.
I
People
Yes.
can
agree.
have your opinions on different, like I guess like you with different emotion, but in we were talking about like best fight ever.
Okay, all right, yes. Yeah,
That's-
if we are
Yeah.
talking about best fight, then yes, it is this one by a country mile. But
but when you mentioned that, you mentioned on a podcast, I can't remember which one it was. I went back and watched it. You were talking about music about it, I'm pretty sure. And honestly, I don't know. It didn't hit me as much as like you were. I don't know.
For
wait,
which fight?
When Darth was talking about like sister and stuff, and he goes, no.
Ah, at the
oh,
end,
Return of the
Return of the
Jedi.
Jedi.
Yeah. Didn't
Oh,
it didn't hit me as much as I don't know.
I forgot about that one. I'd probably have that
I
equal
thought that
with.
was the one you were talking about.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I
Yeah,
like that one as well.
I thought that is the one he was talking about as
yeah.
well.
He always talks about that one. Huh.
Do I?
Interesting.
Which
Yeah.
one were you not talking about that one?
No, I was
Yeah.
talking about that one in Empire, just because
Ah,
of
I think you said return
the.
though.
Hmm?
I'm not sure if you said return just before or not, or you
yeah.
said Luke
I
versus
thought you were
Darth.
talking about the very end of episode
Yeah.
6
You always
I'm
like
talking about, no, I
on
was
the
talking
Death
about
Star.
Empire. I was talking about Empire, but I do also, now that I think about it,
definitely.
I think the one in Return of the Jedi is also very good.
Oh yeah. You mentioned on a different podcast about something you were like, yeah, the most emotional was when Luke versus Darth in Return. So I went
Hmm.
back and watched it and
I
I was
feel
like,
like I remember him saying that as well.
yeah, he did. Because I know for a fact because I went back and watched it to see like the sound, the score and stuff behind it, and I was like, it's all right. But I think because I probably don't care about them as much as I care about Anakin and Obi-Wan's relationship.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway, all right. So that's the action. The
Mhm.
story, as we've mentioned, is phenomenal.
Mm.
Like, Anakin and his turn, but also the political aspect. I actually, geez, it must have been a long time since I last watched it because I feel like I learned a lot more watching it this time. Like, like the little lines that you hear, like how the Chancellor has served long after his term limit. Like
Mm.
it's something but it's not something, at least that I recall hearing in the film.
Sounds like someone, not famous. Sounds like someone in the real world.
Yeah, there could be many people. Um, Now, what other things was I going to say? Now, I did remember actually while you were talking before what I was going to say earlier, and that's good because I can work it into this one, and that is Order 66. Like, what? You guys don't like
No way you have that as a negative.
negative,
Wait,
positive?
you said you remembered something before about your
Yeah.
negative. And when
No, it was a tangent I was going to go on.
ah,
Oh,
Not a negative.
I just had a
No
heart
way.
attack.
Order
Oh,
66 is
jeez.
great. That's why it's in my positives.
okay. All right.
And that's why I said I can work it into my positives.
Scared me.
I could tell by your
Every
faces.
face
I was like,
just dropped when you said Order
did they
6.
mishear me or something?
Oh, phew.
Anyway, like Order 66 is amazing. Now, quick other tangent is, does Palpatine have to call every single Jedi commander? I mean, clone commander?
No, I think that's just like a signal report throughout everyone, and then they
Because
access it,
he
showing them access.
specifically says Cody when he's talking
Yeah,
to
but
Cody.
those are the main ones.
Yeah,
The rest of
exactly.
them
But
are not.
he's
Yeah,
making a few exceptions.
yeah, of
But
course.
anyway, it's all right. It's all right. We don't need to go into that. And then what I was going to say before is Palpatine's line when he says unlimited power. Right now, this is, I'm assuming, what it's meant to mean. is like, his force power and the dark side and all that sort of thing. But as I was rewatching it and talking about, as I said, all these political things that I didn't really pick up on, I actually interpreted it in that when I was seeing it last night, unlimited like political power. Like he knows now he can. Well, the Jedi. There's proof now. The Jedi have tried to assassinate him. They've tried to stage a coup essentially and remove him from power. And he now has the opportunity to get his unlimited power by convincing the Senate to grant him more.
Yeah.
I think you can say that, and also how he's got Anakin on his side now. That like he thinks he's unstoppable. I think.
Yeah, exactly. And he's got his enforcer now that he can basically do whatever he wants.
Mm,
Oh,
that's
and
good.
another thing that I was quickly going to say, actually. Now, I don't know if I'd call this a negative, but I wouldn't call it a positive, is as soon as he declares the new empire, like 2 to 5 minutes later, when Obi-Wan and Yoda are searching through the hologram recordings of Anakin and seeing what Anakin did, they refer to him as the Emperor. Have they already like heard his speech after everything that's happening? I would have thought they would call him the Chancellor still.
Mm, I think they would have.
Because
Everyone would have
they
heard.
were in the middle of a fight in the Jedi Temple and
Yeah,
everything,
but don't
and
forget it cuts. So they probably already
yeah,
like.
but I don't think it cuts by much.
Mm, it goes from outside to
This is
inside.
what you call a nitpick,
Yeah,
obviously, but
yeah.
I heard it and I was like, how do they know he's the Emperor already?
I
Like,
think it's
wouldn't
also
they
just
just?
for audiences to understand that's who he is in the future movies. If they're a bit slow on like, oh, like, wow, he looks like the guy from the original.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, it's just, I know it's just for like the audience and the story, but if you actually think about it, would they? I don't think they would have known that he went by Emperor.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. Was there anything else I was going to mention? I don't think so.
Famous
Uh,
No,
last
I
words.
think we can go to Jack.
yeah, if you have anything that I spark your memory or something, go jump in, of course.
Should I get a pillow ready? Because I feel like we might be here a while.
No, the good thing about this is though, you guys have talked about many of the positives I already like, so I don't have to re-go over them, which is really good. So I'm just gonna have to think about positives that you haven't mentioned. Positives that you haven't mentioned. Good question. This is actually gonna be. This might be really short.
Seeing Darth Vader at the end, that was a positive.
Oh, yes, sure. Okay, you've actually jogged my memory
I
here.
thought this might be something you want to talk about.
Yeah. So I the cinematography and the symbolism in this movie is unparalleled. So
Hmm.
when it has Anakin on the table getting like his Darth suit, it has obviously the Imperial logo on it. Another
Yeah, the floor and the him in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another thing is Padme's hat in when she's in the Senate area is actually her back of the head thing hat thing is actually the Rebel logo, which
Oh,
is
I didn't notice.
yeah,
That's a good. That's a
these
good
are the
pickup.
little Easter eggs and hidden visual features.
That's good. That's good. That's a good one.
Yeah, have a look if you want later. It's actually crazy. Also, and obviously, it's probably common knowledge-ish, but you know how the Emperor's sitting in his room with like the red hologram stuff in front of him,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
turns to Anakin, and then he confronts Anakin about him, and then Anakin figures out he's a Sith Lord.
Mm.
It's actually about he's looking at the Death Star. Pre
Oh,
stuff about
okay. No, I didn't know that
it has
actually.
the symbol of like the big circle station thing. So it's real cool how
Yeah, that's cool.
he's already thinking about that kind of stuff. Um,
Well, let's be honest. He probably already started building it because
well,
we
has
see
to.
it
Yeah,
at the end. Yeah.
yep. So that he's looking at the Death Star stuff. Also, did I ever mention where they were building that? Like above which planet? Because like, how
Don't
did you get away
think.
with that?
so I don't know where they built it, but I know the Gean Oceans were building it. So
Hmm.
oh, maybe we'll find out in Andor because we know from from the
I don't know
last scene
about
in
it.
Andor they were
Well,
still building it.
actually, to
Hmm.
be fair, I was just going through the thought process. It probably would have been him behind it, obviously, but would the separatists have actually been the ones building it to start with?
No,
Because they're, huh?
no,
No, because they're the
no.
ones that had the plans, and like I
It
know the Republic is corrupt, but how would he get away? That would cost a damn lot of
it
money.
was the G note. Yeah, Cooper's
How
right.
could he get away with transferring that amount of money, spending that amount of money without
He
anyone at all getting suspicious?
royalty. before even he was a chancellor, apparently just like his family or parents, whatever, when he killed, backstory of Palpatine. Apparently he was actually royalty too,
Oh,
and also
really?
he had a lot of money because he was
Even then, I don't know. He still wouldn't have enough, but I would say. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
when you have connections of
We'll
people, they're both
continue.
willing to do stuff for you, especially if you're like
Yeah,
threatening.
well, that's why I said the separatists, because I was thinking maybe the Trade Federation or someone would have been putting money into it.
Also, tangent. Apparently, Andor season two or Andor season, whenever it finishes, apparently is going to lead into straight into
Rogue
Rogue
One.
One, where we see Cassian with the
And
rebels.
and
Yeah, I
that's what
think I
I
heard
mean.
that.
So when we were doing our Andor review, which was our
Mm,
second episode of the podcast, a lot of our hopes were that we'd see some of the Rogue One cast
yeah,
because it leads straight into Rogue One.
Mm,
I feel like that's first of all a huge missed opportunity if they don't do it, but also it
Jin
makes
has to
sense
show
for the
up.
story.
Yeah, Jin
yeah.
has to show up right when like they almost should do that and almost end the show when Cassian and Jin meet to show like, oh, poof, that's
Well,
like
I think they're doing it, the very beginning when he's with the other spy, and then they're talking about the Imperial defector.
Yes. Yep.
yeah, oh, true. I was talking about when they're when they have Jin in the rebel room and Cassian's like looking over at her kind of thing.
Yeah, but there's stuff that happens before. So.
Is it with
Yeah, so Jin's on the Imperial transport on
yeah,
I forgot was it
Cassian's not
Wabani?
there?
Wabani. Yeah, so and then
But
she gets
Cassian's
rescued.
I
So
hate
we
that.
probably won't get Jin unless she somehow is a part of a separate mission with another character, maybe like a Vel or a Cinta or something. I don't know.
Ah, please not that.
I
Val.
love how quickly we just
Love it.
swerved off topic, by the way.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back on
Easy to
topic.
swerve. Everything's connected. Okay, let's get back into it. So, what else do I like about Revenge? I don't know. I think you basically just said everything. The reason why it's my number one favorite Star Wars movie is because yeah, it may not be the best film. Like it may not be a good film, but it's the best Star Wars film in my opinion. It has all the elements that I would my personal preference would put into a movie for Star Wars. Space battles probably would have a little bit more of them, but still some at the start. Space battles, lightsaber battles, good storytelling, plot that is relevant to like future movies and on itself. Uh, Score, like themes, visual features. Then I don't know. That's probably everything I'd put into a good Star Wars movie. Like I think
Mm.
the main issue I had with a lot of the Star Wars movies is that the plot is just not defined that much. It's like a lot of the time it's lacking a lot, which means the story in itself can't like progress, and which means the film's probably not great. Like I feel like the sequel this is I'll talk about it when it comes to sequel. I feel like the sequels could have easily done well if they just planned out a 7 to 9 beforehand, like had a consistency throughout it, and it probably would have been fine, right? Like you don't always need legacy characters to have like good Star Wars movies. The
There's someone
amazing,
that could learn from that, I'd say. There's some
yeah,
people
but
that could learn from that point.
it's like Ray is not probably that bad of a character. Like I'm an avid like Ray not supporter, but they could have done her so good if they just had a plan for her and wrote her good. You
And
know
didn't give her just all the powers.
what I'm saying?
Like,
Written. If they
yeah.
just had a plan, like a good director, a good producer, and no offense, Kathleen, and a good a screenwriter, everything would have been fine. Like you can't really go wrong if you and you had source material though.
And if all three of the movies were like cooperated on
I
together.
said, yeah, but they also had source material after. Like, yes,
Mm.
you don't have to use everything George Lucas had in Legends and stuff, or like what other authors, but you could have implemented some stuff. Like they still had Ben Solo, which is like Jason Solo, whatever it is.
Mm.
So it's like, anyway, that's a tangent. But I just think this film is peak Star Wars and will just never be topped, honestly. Not with the hands of Disney now. So
Yeah.
it's something that I'm gonna always hold on to and treasure forever. Just everything about this film is unreal, and yeah, everyone's already
Wow.
said all the positives. Yeah, it's great film.
Yep.
All right.
I agree.
So we'll give it a score out of 10. Mark,
Ooh.
what do you give?
One of you two go first.
I'm not going first.
Nine
Jack,
point
Oh,
9 point what?
eight.
Holy moly.
dang.
Holy
Don't forget, we're talking
moly.
about not films. We're talking about Star Wars films. This
Yeah,
is my
I
Star Wars.
know, but okay.
It can't get much better than this.
Mark?
I think I'm going to go with an 8.5.
That is respectable. I love that.
Um,
if it's any lower than an 8.
No. Hang on. Just I'm trying to think because
Dead.
I really like the originals, and I just feel like if I give this too much of a high of a score,
Yeah, but don't
Yeah,
forget,
I
you're
know. That's the
You're
thing.
not comparing. You're not comparing, guys. You forget that it's an individual movie review. You don't have to
Yeah, but at
like
the
that.
end, we're gonna have to have our list of
No, but
movies.
if I really like Empire, if I give it a 9.5 or something, it's still, you know what I mean? Or if, like, so in my opinion, Empire is number 2 for me, which we'll find out later.
okay.
I can still give it just a bit lower or the same.
Yeah.
I
You know what I mean?
gave Revenge of the Sith a 9.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Okay, all right. So now we're gonna move into a very long list of quotes. I cannot believe how many iconic quotes come from this movie.
This movie has
Let's
sparked so much
count. Okay,
stuff.
do you know how many quotes you've got?
I've got a page and a half worth of
Okay,
quotes.
Jack, you count how many quotes there are, and I'll try and count how many of them are memes.
Okay.
All right.
All
Okay,
right,
so
so
we'll start off with everyone's favorite. This is where the fun begins.
meme. Meme
Um,
on the top.
this one's funny in the conversation. Obi-Wan says, "Well, have you noticed the shields are still up?"
That's
That's not
good
a
old
meme.
everyone.
Funny.
Um, this one I just find funny. Obi-Wan says, "Did you press the stop button on the elevator?"
Yeah.
This time we'll take him together. Sith Lords are our speciality.
Oh, I think that's a meme, isn't
That's a meme.
it? Yeah.
My powers have doubled since the last time we met, Count.
Is that? I reckon that could be. Is that?
Nah, that's a
No,
meme.
I
But
feel
that
like I've
is
seen it before.
nah, but that's an unreal quote though.
Yeah, it is. That
Shows
This
is
how
one,
unreal.
arrogant.
this one is very much a meme-worthy one. Good, Anakin,
Yeah.
good. Kill him. Kill
Better
him
do
now.
the next one.
Do it. Do
Yeah, there we go.
it. Do it.
General Grievous, you're shorter than I expected.
hmm
Um, well, we're still flying half a ship.
Yeah, that's a meme. That's a meme. Yep.
This one's hilarious. Another happy landing.
Oh, that's a meme. Yep. Another happy landing.
Meme?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
This is outrageous. It's unfair, says Anakin.
Another one.
Take a seat, young Skywalker.
Not a meme, but good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not counting either of the last two as memes, but
This
they were
one's a
good.
meme.
The one before,
Is
What?
it a meme? I can't say I've seen it in a meme
outrageous.
before.
This is
This is
unfair. I've
outrageous,
made memes about
unfair.
it.
I've seen memes about that
I've
as
seen
well.
so many.
Oh,
I've
I'm
made
adding
them.
it then. I'm adding it.
Oh,
All right.
Mark. Not
This one's
meme.
also a meme. What about the droid attack on the Wookiees?
Yeah, that's definitely
Yeah.
one.
The iconic quote. Did you ever hear the tragedy about Darth Plagueis the Wise? The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. And that is, of course, uttered later in episode 9. Hello there. General Kenobi.
I wish I could add that as like just the Omega meme.
Yeah.
Like,
10 memes.
Jack, you said this before. So uncivilized.
Yep.
This one is also meme worthy. I am the Senate.
not yet.
I am going to end this once and for all,
Not a meme.
says
But
Mace Windu. Execute Order 66.
yeah.
Moving to page 2.
I don't know if I'd call that a meme.
I don't know how many I'm up to. I think I'm up to 20.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do? One of my favorite lines. So this is how Liberty dies, with thunderous applause.
Yeah, that's yeah, so
That's a god tier line, I reckon. If
unreal.
I know Padme doesn't get that much
That's
screen
also a
time,
meme.
but that's a
Is it a meme? I don't.
Yeah.
Is it?
This is how democracy
Okay,
falls.
maybe we should have done this the other way around, and Jack should have counted the memes.
You know, I used to have a prequel meme page. Unreal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is another line that I really, really think is powerful. Everyone says Anakin is the father, isn't he?
Mm.
You're going down a path I can't follow. Another fantastic Padme line.
Yeah.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind if I yell a little bit?
Oh god, yep.
Go.
We don't need friends. Go for
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
it.
It wasn't that much of a yell.
She screamed it.
It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
Ah, me.
Is that a meme?
Yeah.
You were the chosen one.
That whole end scene though has I love the lines of those end one that last
You were the
battle.
chosen one.
So good.
Anyway, that brings me to the end of the quotes.
Oh, okay.
29. 29.
29.
I counted 17 memes.
Damn, that's over half.
Oh, that's
Oh, that's
great.
so good.
No,
How
that's
good is
awesome.
that?
That's awesome. I love that.
Oh,
Okay.
there was damn. I like so when you were saying the quotes, there was a thing there was like a reference cameo thing that I wanted to say, but now I've forgotten it. So don't worry
Oh,
about it.
well,
I did a mark.
mention it if you do remember it.
Yeah, I did a mark. Yeah.
All right, it's time for the third installation of Who Has More
And
Screen
more screen time. Woo!
Woo!
Mark, have you won one of these? I
No.
think it's been a draw and a win for me.
Yeah.
Oh, this is your one.
I haven't done a
This is your
lot. I
favorite
haven't
film. I've got to really. I watched it last night. All right, let's hope I can do
So
it.
you're more refreshed on it than me. So now it's gonna be
um
tight.
I haven't done a lot of comparisons just because there's not that many characters in this movie. All right.
Maybe then if there's no comparison, just give us character in 3 or like 4 options, and one of them being the true one, and we can.
No. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 9 comparisons.
Oh, okay.
That's enough.
Yeah, easy as. Yeah.
All right. Who has more screen time? Obi-Wan Kenobi or Palpatine?
Obi-Wan.
Both said Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan has 37 minutes and 15 seconds. Palpatine 24 minutes 45 seconds.
Okay. Cool.
Nice.
Who has more screen time? Mr. Chewbacca or Commander Cody?
Cody.
Chewy.
Point to Mark.
Yes.
Cody has 1 minute 15. Chewie 1 minute.
I was thinking about all the Chewy at the end scene where he says goodbye.
Yeah. Jack will love this. Who has more screen time? Count Dooku or Kiadi Mundi?
Can we just
Honestly, I'm gonna say Kiedi Mundi does.
the disrespect for Kiadi is just
What's
unreal.
disrespectful? I'm including him.
Yeah, he always has low screen time.
Well, that's
The
not
fact
my
that
fault.
the fact you just said you're including him makes me feel like that my answer was wrong because I said Kiedi Mundi.
No, I'm gonna say him too because Count died like at the start.
Yeah.
So
You both
I'm
say
gonna say
Kiadi Mundi?
Yeah.
yeah, flashback of the Order 66 scenes, I reckon.
Yeah, where he's holding the lightsaber up.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Well,
gonna be
you
my
both-
count. Is it though? Yeah, I'm going Key. Yeah.
You're both wrong.
Oh, what?
Count
Anyway,
Dooku
that
has
that
2
I
minutes.
just realized you missed a fantastic quote. What about the droid attack
Or
on the
attack on the
Wookiees?
Wookiees.
I said that.
What did you?
I
Did you?
definitely said that.
I didn't hear it. Did you hear it, Jack?
I don't
I
know.
definitely said that.
That's funny. That is a good meme.
I definitely said that.
I
Alright,
don't think so.
Who has more screen time? Bail Organa or R2D2?
R2, but it's close.
Bale.
Point to Mark.
And I'm trying to be different here.
R2D2 has 5. Bail Organa has 4.5.
Oh,
I knew it was close.
so close, yeah. I was
All right.
thinking of all the scenes in my head, trying to like relive it.
Who has more screen time? General Grievous or Mace Windu?
Oh,
Another close one.
damn it, man. Why are these so They're both probably the same. Is it both really close?
They're both so
Uh,
close. I can't.
Yes, they are close.
Yeah.
That's
It's
the
just
point of this game.
I
Yeah, but
think I'm gonna
what's the other
say
one, like,
Mace Windu
not
actually.
as close. You know what? To be different again, I'm just gonna go general because it's 50-50.
I was gonna say Grievous, but I'm changing to Mace.
All
I
right.
reckon I'm going general.
Jack is on the board.
Ah,
Grievous has 6 minutes. Windu 15 minutes.
Wait.
Sorry, not 50. No, sorry. 5 minutes 15.
50 minutes.
oh my goodness.
Oh my
Dude, imagine a
Lord.
50-minute Mace Windu.
Oh gosh. Samuel
This
Jackson's
party's
getting
over.
paid.
This party's over. All right, who has more screen time? Padme or Yoda?
Yoda.
What'd you say, Jack?
Yoda too.
You're both wrong.
Really? That
Padme's-
actually surprises me.
This is gonna be massively surprising. Yoda has 11 minutes 45. Padme comes in at 18 minutes and 15
What?
seconds.
18 minutes.
18.
Is this kind of deleted scenes? What in the? What?
I don't
There's
know
no
how
way she's in it for almost 20 minutes.
Yeah, I
She's-
know.
Oh well, I guess all she does is just stand there and go like this. So
Hey,
yeah,
that reminds me. I
Still
wonder
has
if
her creepy
Cooper.
smile, by the way. I'm
Yeah,
making it 3 for 3 on
I was
our
about to
reviews.
say that. I was about to say, Cooper, did she have that weird smile
Yes, she
again?
did. She did.
Didn't notice it again.
Oh,
I always think of the one in like in the first one where she's just going from like straight face to this.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. All right. Who has more screen time, Luke or Leia?
No, Luke.
Luke.
All right, you're
Yeah,
both
Luke.
correct. Luke has 45 seconds, Leia only 30 seconds.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because when the birth happens, like they hold Luke up and she takes a bit and then she's like Luke. But when
I
they
think
show Leia, she's just like Leia.
no, I think the extra 15 seconds comes
At the
from
end.
Obi-Wan, yeah, rocking up on the dewback
That
thing.
just reminded me of a positive that I wanted to mention that I forgot about, if I may quickly
The ending.
interrupt the game. It won't take long at all. The very end of the film, when Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru are looking out at the suns and the Force theme plays, I love that. It's just such a reference again to
Right.
A New Hope.
Tried to
And
copy
it's
it.
a good way to finish the trilogy.
Yeah, it's a great way to finish a trilogy, and it leads right into the next one.
Mhm.
All right, we've got 2 more comparisons left. Jar Jar or Uncle Owen?
Uncle Owen. Oh, actually,
Jar
I
Jar,
shouldn't have said that.
Wait, I'm confused. Who's doing what?
Jar Jar.
I said Uncle Owen, but I realized that I shouldn't have said it.
I don't know.
You
Jar
can
Jar's
change
in
your
it.
mind if you want.
Nah, I'm going with Uncle.
Jar Jar's in it for like not much. If anything, I would happy to switch, but I'm going Jar Jar.
All right. Jar Jar has somehow 15 seconds.
I knew it's bad. Yeah.
Uncle Owen has 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mark
I had a
gets the
feeling it
point.
was like, even though it's 15 second, I feel like
Because I saw Jar Jar more than I thought I would,
Nah,
honestly.
Yeah, same. I thought so as well.
I thought he was in nothing, to be
He doesn't
honest.
speak.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a line. All right, last one. Who has more screen time? General Tarkin
Huh.
or Governor Tarkin, sorry,
Yeah.
or the Millennium Falcon?
Huh.
Ah, yeah. I forgot it was in that
Fuck it
bit.
up.
Tarkin.
I can't even. What was talking? Was he at the end? I can't remember even when he was in it.
Standing with Vader and
You know what? Because I've already
Oh.
lost to Mark anyway, so I'm just gonna
Have
try and
you?
get an extra point here. Let's go Falcon.
Falcon has 10 seconds, Tarkin 15.
Yes.
You have to
Mark,
count- you have to-
congratulations. You win your first. Who has more
Woo! What
screen
were the
time?
scores?
6 to 3.
Like
That was a
three.
whitewash.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
You got
What happened,
2/3
Jack?
of the questions right, Mark. Well
Mark,
done.
I went different every time to you to be.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that, should you? Bad
Yeah.
strategy.
That's
Yeah.
a
Well,
bad strategy.
why not? Be different.
All right,
Also,
well
did you
done.
have to count this? Did you have to count how long the Falcon was on screen for?
Yeah,
Because like it's not a character.
I know. I just thought I saw Tarkin. I'm like, oh, there's no other character that you guys would probably know. So I just thought, let's do the Falcon.
You could have just done some like lame like political person, like the
Believe it or
guy.
Well,
not,
I
I'm gonna
thought
do
so,
it.
but
guy
you
who-
guys
Doing it
wouldn't
for,
have
like,
known
1
who it
second.
was, and then it would have been like, oh,
His
Cooper, who's
name,
that?
Emperor's dude who like speaks for him sometimes.
Oh yeah,
No idea.
I know the
Like,
blue guy.
Royal Guards because they get force pushed by Yoda.
I could have done Royal Guards. I don't know.
It'd been
All
cool.
right. Well done, Mark. We're tied 1 apiece. So we'll see what happens next time.
Oh,
Okay.
dude, I
I've
love
got some
this.
questions for you guys just to finish off. And
Are we doing the 10-word thing this week?
Nah,
do you want to do that?
nah. Let's do something different.
Okay.
All right. I'll finish the question. Start the question first. Okay. Who has the best death in this movie?
That's a very weird question to
Yeah,
ask.
what? Can you say it again?
Who has maybe the most thematic or I don't know. Who has the most thematic death?
In the movie.
Well,
Who dies and
the
who
fact
dies spectacularly?
spectacularly. See, you're
Oh.
changing the word, and it
Yeah,
completely
if
changes my
thematically you would
answer.
say Padme.
Yes, I was about to say thematically, I'd say
But then if you're
Padme.
going
I
spectacularly,
don't know.
Spectacularly,
Just
it would be
whose
either
death
Grievous or Count.
whose death makes you feel like
so whose death?
uh,
Whose death did you like the most?
yeah, well that's why I said best death.
That's a bad way
So
to
we've
put
done
it.
a full circle and we're back to the start. Okay. Yes,
Well, so not go. It's not okay. So Mark, let me help you. It's not. It's not the most. It doesn't need to be the most significant. In other words, just something you liked, like a death you liked.
Yeah, but saying you like the way something died just sounds horribly wrong.
No, like Okay, I got one. Plo Koon, because the way he goes like
Oh,
this in the ship.
Riplo.
So I would have said Count Dooku. I think the way he goes out is pretty violent.
Well, I'm thinking either Count or Grievous. So
Yeah. Okay.
Grievous, really?
who uncivilized?
That's all right. Okay. Okay, this is just a general question to see if you guys know. Who has the final line in this movie? Think about it. Think about it.
Bail Organa. No, not Bail Organa. No, no, because I know Yoda speaks after him.
It's a very fitting end. Really? I feel like that
I
should.
know
Vader.
one.
Vader when he says no.
The thing
No,
that's
not Vader.
annoying me is that I remember seeing a quiz thing with this like I should know the answer to this one.
Just
I'm trying
okay.
to,
It's fitting in terms of A New Hope.
yeah, I was thinking is it something on Tatooine or is it before
No.
Tatooine?
Well, yeah, well, I
What's
don't
happening?
know. Baru and Lars didn't say
Wait,
anything.
wait, wait,
No.
wait, 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 wait. Is it something about twins or something? Or you take them the training something force?
No, it's not Bale, it's not Yoda, it's not Obi-Wan. Guys.
C3PO.
Yeah, he got it.
Yes.
Oh, the mind's wipe.
Well, I don't know if I don't know if that's what he says like he does say something in response to that. But I
He
said it
says
was
something like,
fitting.
"Oh dear."
Yeah,
Yeah,
I said it was fitting because he gets the first line in A New Hope.
yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I was thinking because oh, Mike, you should have known that one because you just watched it last night.
Yeah, but like,
Um, I
there's a
was
lot. There's actually a lot that happens after that.
wasn't there talking? I know this is not scriptable quoting, talking, but there was talk. I remember hearing talking and chatter on the when Darth and Emperor are looking out on the space station from it within inside the ship. It doesn't count because it's
No.
not characters, but I hear like like actual like talking, like chattering in the back. That's
Oh,
fun.
so it's like full on just rambling or
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like you can just hear like whispered chatter and so I don't think it's like actually
You just
just
reminded me of this scene that I find really weird in the movie when Palpatine says to Anakin, it's at the start, and he's like, "You remember what you told me about the Sand People on Tatooine?"
yeah,
And then they put in like background noise of Tusken Raiders.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they put that in the background. It's so weird.
honestly though, why would Anakin tell Emperor about that?
Yeah, why would he?
Like, I
Yeah,
wouldn't tell the Chancellor that I killed people.
yeah. I went
Mm,
on a massacre, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. Remember when I went to Tatooine and like had to protect Padme? Yeah, I actually killed Tuskens there. Yeah. How would you talk about that? That'd be so weird.
that would be, I mean, how long has it been since Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith?
So many years.
Yeah.
The Clone Wars all happened, and he's still referring back to the Tuskens.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, they just forgot that they were gonna have a show after it. I mean, they didn't know, but yeah.
Didn't know, no.
Yeah,
All right. Do you guys know the name of Obi-Wan's lizard creature?
no.
No.
Okay, all right, that's fine. It's named Boga.
All right, nice.
All right. Who's a better pilot, Anakin or Han?
Anakin.
Um,
Force abilities, maybe without using Anakin's definitely a good pilot because using the Force predicting stuff, I reckon.
Yeah, but just as a pilot.
Okay,
I
as a
like
pilot,
Han. I think
fine.
Han is, yeah.
Han, yeah, I would
Han
say.
is like almost half of his personality is that he's a pilot.
Yeah.
True, but then again, if you're going off like abilities involved, then Anakin is because
Well, yeah, but that's
he's the
he has
best
the
pilot
Force.
in the galaxy.
Yeah,
And someone who was it that knew? Oh, it was Thrawn in the books.
I
Thrawn
haven't read him yet.
knew. Oh, sorry, it's a minor spoiler, not really. Thrawn knew eventually figuring out after watching Darth fly the ship, he only ever seen the move once done by Anakin and realized
Ah,
it was
nice.
Anakin.
Oh, damn.
That's
He
cool.
realized he did like that spin or whatever.
Thrawn is very observant.
Yeah, how cool is that?
That is very cool.
That shows how smart and like he just watches, he just knows everything.
That is
That's
very cool.
crazy. Yeah. Anyway,
All right.
that's good.
Rank these lightsaber fights. Count versus Anakin and Obi-Wan.
In number 3,
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Obi-Wan versus Grievous. Yoda versus Sidious. Mace Windu versus Sidious.
I'm not gonna remember all these. Just give
Yeah,
me
I'm
And
struggling to remember.
all right, fine. I'll shorten it to three. Count Dooku versus Obi-Wan and Anakin. Grievous versus Obi-Wan and
Do
no, okay,
four.
that's
No, do four. Do the Mace versus
Mace
Jedi
versus Pal. Okay,
versus
all right.
Palpatine.
I'll get rid
And then
of
do top four.
okay, don't do because of okay, I won't do Anakin
Okay,
versus
so which
Obi-Wan
ones are we
because
ranking?
I won't do Anakin and Obi-Wan just because we know
Probably
that's
number
going to be
one.
top. So do
Okay.
Anakin and Obi-Wan versus Count, Obi-Wan versus Grievous, Sidious versus
The
Mace,
Jedi.
and Sidious versus Yoda.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'll go first.
Yep.
I think I'll put Mace and the Jedi versus Palpatine on top. Obi and Anakin versus Count second. What were the other two again? There's Yoda and Palpatine and
Grievous versus Obi-Wan.
yeah, okay. Yoda and Palpatine third and Grievous Obi-Wan fourth.
See,
Mhm.
I'm gonna do it obviously mine's gonna be different, but I'm gonna do it from worst to best to make this suspenseful. Last one. Wait, what was your last one, Mark?
Obi and Grievous.
Yep, same. Obi and Grievous. Um,
Mm,
Obi and Grievous.
tricky.
Jedi's versus Sidious.
Really?
Yeah, just gonna surprise you. Yoda versus Emperor, and then Anakin.
Wow.
You know why?
So what did you put first, Count?
Hmm.
Yeah, that is a good one.
You know why?
Why?
Only does it have massive story changes for the whole plot of that movie. Seeing, like, if you're watching it from like just a movie and watching it sequentially, seeing the progression of how like kind of not as dominant in the fight Anakin was to like absolutely beasting and monstering Count in that one-on-one when
That's
Obi-Wan
true.
gets pushed aside is so I love watching it. It's so cool. And then the
Yeah.
ending of it, unreal. I loved it. Yeah.
I would probably put that first as well, to be honest.
Yeah, Grievous was definitely last in that list.
Um, I would put yeah, I'd probably put that one last as well, and then I'd put Yoda versus Sidious, and then Mace versus
Oh,
Sidious, and
Mace
then
above it. Really?
yeah, I didn't.
I think the Mason Sears file is actually really good.
Nah.
It's like the only time you get to see Mace Windu in an actual
Yeah, that's the
duel.
only reason why I like it, because you get to see Mace in live action fight.
Yeah.
But I want more Mace action in
Yeah.
live.
All right, I've got three more questions. Two are yes or no responses, but I'll start with the non-yes no response.
All right.
Why did Padme die?
Palpatine.
Action.
Palpatine.
Heartbreak.
Because what were you saying? A heartbreak. Yeah, I have heard that one, but I as I was watching it last night, and that droid is like, there's no reason that she should be dying, but she is.
Exactly,
And
heartbreak.
yeah, heartbreak. Yeah, I agree that is it, but I reckon Palpatine had something to do with it because if he relied on Padme dying to get Anakin to join him, so he must have had something in
I
to
get
do with
that,
it.
but I don't know.
That's what I mean. It's up for debate.
Yeah, I feel like
I
because
don't know how he would have done it, but I reckon he
the
did it.
droid goes, she's lost the will to live. I
Yeah.
think that is heartbreak.
Well,
She
yeah, that's
doesn't want to fight anything. She just wants to die peacefully, I guess, after having it.
yeah,
Yeah. But
unfortunate for the kids.
yeah, literally. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Yes or no? Is Obi-Wan responsible for Padme's death?
No.
Actually, yes.
I would have said yes as
I know
well.
what
Why is that?
I know the scene you're talking about too.
Because
Because
Obi-Wan hops on
yeah,
the ship.
yeah.
Oh,
Literally,
that's what you meant.
if
Yeah.
Obi-Wan doesn't get on that ship and it was just Padme versus Anakin, I mean Padme and Anakin talking, because the only reason why Anakin started choking out Padme too was because
Oh, I hate that
saw
scene so
Obi-Wan
much.
saw Obi-Wan coming down and he
Correct.
goes, "Oh, you're with him. We've
Yep.
sent him here to kill me." So
Yeah.
it could have just been like a actually I don't actually know what would happen after that because Anakin could just absolutely lose it because Padme's not going to join him, or Padme realizes how scary he is and just kind of accepts it, but then tries to escape later, kind of thing,
Mm,
and then tell everyone and
yeah.
run. So you never know what would happen with that. But I feel like yeah, that'd be a good cause to debate. Yes.
Last question. And this one might be a bit iffy when you first hear it, but think about it.
Yeah.
Is Padme force sensitive?
It's funny. I think I've heard someone say this before.
I
Is this-
think she might be.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say no. You can be the one to debate it. Cool.
I just think because of, especially there's some lines in this, I can't remember them specifically, but she says she can sense and feel things, like similar to how Finn was able to in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, and also that scene where they're both looking at each other from the temple, and
Yes,
then
that as well.
I know it's a
That
lot
one, yeah, I do like that scene. That's a good
of work.
scene.
Actually, that scene speaks volumes. Without dialogue, the music of like the oh, like it's like an
I know.
echo.
How good is that? The movies have got to remember that no dialogue is just as good as
It's
dialogue.
just yeah, I was gonna say almost having no dialogue is better. It
Yeah,
speaks more volumes
I'd
having
say
it
it is
good.
better. I can't think of really much that could have been said in that scene that would have made it
Imagine going
better.
like, oh, I hope Anakin's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, would have ruined
exactly.
it.
It would have ruined it 100%.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised, honestly, that
And you see, the tears coming down Anakin's face. Like
you
it's not just words that you need in a
yeah, I
film.
was gonna say you can just tell that Anakin's not sure if he's done the right thing still, and he realizes that he has to go down this path just because he thinks it's the only way to save Padme.
Mm.
Speaks so much. Yeah, that's an unreal scene. And then once again, in Revenge of the Sith, just good scenes like that, just crazy.
Yeah.
Great movie. Unreal.
I agree.
Mm.
Alrighty, that brings us to the end of Revenge of the Sith. I think it was a very lively and interesting debate.
Yeah.
And it was good to continue the series. I think we've gone over a lot of what I think makes Star Wars quite good and why we enjoy it. Yes, especially Anakin and Obi-Wan. But thank you for joining us, whether it's on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or YouTube. We do appreciate you coming and listening to us.
We
And
do.
as we continue to grow, your support is very meaningful and important. So thank you. Happy birthday again, Mark.
Thank
And
you again.
we will
Thank
see
you.
you guys next week.
Catches.
Bye bye.